as you know, I have this theory about the three institutions that were established to form Western man that we received from the Hellenic world. The temple, the academy, and the gymnasium. And the temple is there to teach us the end for which we exist. The academy is there to give us the intellectual habits to attain that end. And the gymnasium is there not to just run on treadmills, as people think today. The gymnasium is there to give us the moral habits, right? So that we embody certain virtues. And even to this day, we talk about good sportsmanship, not to denote physical prowess on the field, but to develop an exercise of moral rectitude between players. That's what because morality is fundamentally largely the difference between ethics and morality is that ethics is the analysis of virtue. Morality is the embodiment of virtue. And that's...
Which is why sportsmanship going professional is so corrosive.
It can be. I mean, even the Hellenes had, a tradition of awarding people for great feats in kind of physical endeavour. But you have to understand that that's situated within such a morally charged culture already that these things are not distinct in their minds in any case. It's a very modern thing to do so, to divorce our pursuits from our own moral formation. But anyway, so in the medieval world, you did have the disappearance of the gymnasium. You had the temple and the academy now baptized, but you had this kind of disappearance of the gymnasium. But in the Byzantine world, you didn't. Among the Greek Christians of the East, you had this wonderful academic culture among the laity, and you also had this conjoining of the moral and the physical formation of the human being. And this comes back in the high medieval period in the West at the level of the courtly schools. So it's with the rise of the knightly tradition, where you have people being inducted into the liberal arts and the humanities. Most of the courts would have at all times highly educated monks and chaplains who were present at all times to teach people. As you know, Charlemagne brought Alcuin of York, who was considered the greatest mind in the world at the time, over from Britain to civilize his court and his warriors. And after Alcuin's retirement, he was replaced by John Scotus Erigena, who was probably the most important Neoplatonic philosopher at that time. And so what you got in these courtly schools was this incredible combination of the academy, the temple, because they lived completely liturgical lives, and the gymnasium, because they would train all day, but it was for the sake of these kind of knightly or chivalric ideals. Now, I'm not saying that they always lived up to these ideals, because often they were acting in a very barbaric way.
But at least they were trying to pursue them.
Yeah, the ideals were there. And they're completely different ideals to their barbaric ancestors, right?
Because now we neither have the ideals nor the barbarism, and it's not because we're better than they are. It's because we're not even as alive as they are.
No, that's right.
We've kind of entered into a total passivity, a death, and in reality, we're not violent because we're virtuous. We're not violent because we have no energy to be alive. We're less real.
The barbarism is definitely there, and it's definitely been intensified. But but because of that deadness of the modern man, it's hidden. It's like a weird voyeurism. You know, it's like,
well, it's not. It's not. Yeah. Well, it's not. It's not the barbarism of the vir, of the man.
No.
It's a kind of just demonic barbarism that's not embodied.
Yeah, it's like we kill people, but they're usually kind of babies, and it's hidden away and it's clinically done. Or we might not torture people anymore, but people stay up late at night watching films where it's reenacted, so they can watch the torture of people whilst eating popcorn. We're still just as kind of menacing and nasty, but we're so pathetic that we sort of hide it away. It's a weird voyeurism that our culture is based on, and it's this whole, as my friend calls it, it's a Russian doll of unreality. You know,
the medieval barbaric lord was filled with the energies of the cosmos that needed to be tamed and trained and funneled in the right direction, and he could be chiseled into a man of virtue, even into a saint. But we don't even have those, although we do have the vices that kind of were behind that virility. We don't even have the virility that can be funneled into becoming great saints of the sword.
No, I think that's right.